Hey, everybody. It's Chrissy Key Rollins here, and I am bringing you this week's energy update. And I only got a few minutes. A lot of times I say that and I go on, and today I'm going to keep it short and sweet as much as possible, and also share with you a little message from the mermaids. So, what was on my heart to talk about this week? Every week I like to bring you a little update of what's happening behind the scenes energetically so we can make a little bit more sense into what is happening around us with our surroundings and our relationships in our overall life experience. So last week I talked about how we are now in Libra season and how that affects us in our decision making, in our reactions, and how we interact with other people. So definitely hop back over and watch that if you want to find out more specifically about the Libra energy and how that influences you during this time of year. So today I wanted to expand on that a little bit by talking specifically about relationships, because right now we're shifting, we are healing, we are evolving as a people, as a society, as a culture, as a species. And part of our evolution is shaking up life as we know it. If you haven't felt it yet, if you hadn't seen it in the news media, if you hadn't noticed this happening around you, chances are somebody you know has. So ask them about it and they'll let you know about the shakeups that are happening. But if you're drawn to this, most likely you've been feeling the shakeups. And a lot of them are hitting our relationships. And there's a reason for this. I talked heavily about it last month as we were going through Virgo season. Hey, whoever just joined live, let me know that you're here. But our relationships are getting shook up. And the reason that is so unsettling for so many of us. Now, maybe your relationship's getting shook up in a way that's evoking some much needed healing, some much needed communication and conversation, and is actually allowing you to evolve a relationship. Or more often in common, we're getting shook up in relationships that we have gained a self-identity with, that it's time for us to let go of, evolve, make some changes around. And what happens is that as humans, like especially in our society, we are really brought up to identify ourselves in relation to other people, other things, other circumstances, other events. We learn who we are. We define who we are. We relate to the world through the experience of us by the definition that we give to ourselves in relationship to other people, circumstances, events. Makes sense? Okay. So the problem with this is that we lose our autonomy. Our autonomy is our ability to be a whole and complete being as is, with nothing added, nothing taken away, nothing can be gained, nothing can be lost. You are whole and complete as is, independent from anything else that is happening around you or anyone else is around you. And when we're brought up with this perspective of self-identity through relationship, then when relationships change, now this could be a relationship to your living environment, this could be a relationship to your work environment. This could be a relationship to money or finances. It could be a relationship to another human being. It could be familial, could be a relationship that's just popped up, could be a long-term relationship. When we identify who we are because of this other person and the label that's on the relationship, life has a way of being able to get us all tangled up. And when they feel, you feel. When they do, you're affected by. More so than when other people are doing things that you don't identify and define yourself by. So if you are too tangled up in your relationships, if you have lost your autonomy, your ability to express yourself fully, your ability to stay whole and complete regardless of what another person's doing, if you have developed a way of being so heavily affected by the choices, the actions, the words, the decisions, the display that other people choose, to represent themselves by, then this is the prime time for you to have those areas shook up so that you can begin to find your footing independent from these relationships. So maybe the relationship has to evolve, maybe it needs to go away, whatever that thing is going to be best for your evolution. The problem with that shakeup is that when we're heavily identified because of that relationship, then the shakeup can make it seem like we don't know who we are. We don't know what direction to go. We don't know what to do next. And it can feel like everything is just suspended up in the air. Welcome Libra season. Libra is represented by the element of air. So it is about lifting. That's what is going to happen this time of year. Everything's going to feel like it is up in the air. And if you don't know who you are, if you don't know how to function and think and operate in this world independently on your own, regardless of the choices, actions, or reactions or feelings of other people, then you're going to find yourself a little bit more lost, a little more scattered, a little more uncertain, and just feeling like, what the heck is going on? Can someone just help me define what is happening? And so if you've been feeling scattered, if you've been feeling aloof, if you've been feeling like everything's just kind of tossed up and suspended in the air, just know you're not alone. You're not doing anything wrong. It is not a sign of anything other than you got some areas to loosen up your grip, to loosen up your self-identity, and begin to identify yourself as an individual independent from this area that is shaking you up. And life is going to has this beautiful way of separating us from the places that we hold on so tight because we feel like our value is wrapped up inside of that thing. And if we're holding too tight and we're too identified with our value only in association with a person, place, circumstance, event, life's going to have a way to say like, okay, that's great, beloved, but you are so much more, and you will not realize that you're so much more until I break you loose from this thing that you're so attached to, so that you can see you are fine, you are whole and complete. And maybe this thing needs to be in your life, maybe it doesn't, but you are not more or less with or without it. So if you can relate to this, if this is helping you to make sense of what has been going on in your world, definitely drop some comments below and let me know that I'm not alone in this. Right? And if you're somebody who's like, Chrissy, this is exactly what I was just talking to my friends about. This is something that I'm really committed to getting over. I've been tangled up in my relationships all along. I see these codependent ways about me. If you're struggling with the soulmate twin flame dynamics, that's really hot right now for a lot of us. And we don't really struggle with the soulmates. We can, because they can present their own issues, but it's the twin flames really that are the rascals in our lives that we're wanting to just wish they were just different. If you want to understand really defining your own autonomy, understanding these big feeling ways, then I invite you to check out right now, because I have it on early bird special. Only reason I'm mentioning it right now through the 13th, I've got the Empathic Healers course on early bird pricing. So you can get started in a really deep self-discovery, guided self-discovery, and better understanding what it means to be human, how to be in your body, and how to interact with this world around you so that it doesn't get you so caught up, shook up, off balance, and thrown for a loop. If you could use that grounding, if you can use that clearing, if you can use that deeper understanding of yourself and others that are around you, I invite you to check it out. I'll drop a link in the comments below. You can find out more if you go to holisticrestoration.com. You can find it right there on the front page, or if you go under work with me. Speaking about relationships, right?
Your client's here, Mama.
Thank you so much. My client's here. I told you I had to keep this short, so I'm going to have to run, but I'm going to drop some links below. Oh, and also join me over in the Conscious Success community, because we're going to see what these mermaids have to say. Give me one moment. Take a breath. Oh, this deck is so decisive. So decisive. And the card that is coming through today is visions. This card's been coming up and coming up and coming up and coming up, you know, and this is another part of the Empathic Healers course that I'm going to incorporate. If you're somebody who has visions, has dreams, has premonitions, has these insights, these things that are coming up inside of you and you don't know what to do with, we're going to make sense of it during that course. I'm not going to talk about that more, so check out the website. But this card is card number 37, and it's visions. And it stands for psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, and out-of-body travel. And what this really says to me is not necessarily like that ethereal out-of-body travel, which can happen, as some of us have found during meditation and other, you know, experiences. But this is really about getting outside of yourself and being an observer and paying attention to what you're visually experiencing, because it may not be the full story. And that is what life is really inviting us to move beyond, to get past how things look on the visual, to open up curiosity and communication beyond how we're used to functioning and interacting with each other. And we can do this as we have our autonomy, as we are able to really connect to our individualness amongst this collective human consciousness. Okay, gotta run. Love y'all so much. Thanks for watching. And yeah, drop some comments below.